A glance at future of programming. A neat but incomplete introduction to coding. Programming is still not for everyone. The tools are still far too primitive and all too incomplete. But progress is being made and things are changing for better. There's this very interesting program called Node-RED. It is hard to appreciate it for what it truly is. Before I get into the details, let me just say that Node-RED is the first in a very powerful class of applications. The world needs 10 or 20 such programs. Node-RED is not perfect, but it is worth the while. On its website, it is described as low-code programming for event-driven applications. But it is also a program that mixes graphics and code editors without needing gigabytes of RAM, and a visual programming language that helps you both diagram and type code into friendly little boxes. What Node-RED really is a code editor. And it is a beautiful start to learning programming because it represents how all serious programming should work. The main layout of the program you are working on must be a graph that captures the theory of operation. The meat of the program needs to be completely hidden away in well-defined spots. In fact, it is best that somebody else creates those inner modules. You should focus on just the layout and the definition of what you need. Event-driven applications are similar to broadcast towers and radios. The tower sends out a message and things listening to it react to the message. It is the safest approach to programming, as programs are always evolving. Emit messages and listen for specific ones. It's a pretty flexible surface for future expansion, and the visual programming language puts those towers and listeners on an even surface for all eyes to see. Event emitters and listeners had one problem. They were hard to keep track of. Node-RED colorfully takes care of that problem. JavaScript is the language of the future, and Node-RED is the code editor of the future. If you spend a little bit of time with their tiny tutorials, not only will you learn about programming, but also programming the right way. Node-RED is still hard to install, and there is no save button, only JSON export. Though there is a desktop variant, it is a third-party thing. But once you get into JavaScript and you have Node.js on your system, it's a matter of running npm i node-red, and then just run node-red on the command line to start the local server. I think the best starting point for all this is Node.js tutorials, because it's also incomplete. But once you see how npm works, you will be able to get to Node-RED and maybe try out some of the cookbook ideas. Node-RED teaches programming the right way, and that means that what you learn here will improve your NPM modules, your GitHub profile, your portfolio, and all that other stuff. Right now, the most important thing to take away from Node-RED is that there is an emerging space for high-level editors. So this doubles as an invitation to learn programming and build your own visual programming language and a business empire to match. Personally, I imagine a module that helps a person new to programming to set a monetary bounty for a module that they need. With little more than just a handful of video tutorials, one could create a new market and open the world of efficient programming to all.